How's it going, everybody? It is me, Shane, and I am here to bring you another Digimon Adventure episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 41, known as Clown. And I do not know if I remember last week if I even made a prediction on what this Digimon was. I particularly like when they have these, coming up next times where I have no clue who it is. I really do have to work on the position of this camera, but I have no clue what Digimon it was. I said, heaven knows who that could be, right? Boy, oh boy, did I not think it would be this Digimon that I'm going to tell you about today. But first, I'm going to please ask you to hit that like button. Give me a comment down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the episode or on the video in general, meaning this video. As well, subscribe if you are not subscribed. Hit the notification bell even if you are to get notified of more videos just like this. And remember, sharing is caring. Putting two words in there together. You probably, if you can make out that image, you know what Digimon it is. It's freaking Piedmon. Piedmon in English, Paimon in Japanese. Just the silhouette. If you are in your 30s and you watch the original Digimon Adventure, Digimon Season 1, as we sometimes call it, you know this guy here. Wonder if I should just cut that off right there. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at the clown. Just look at the clown. There's no way you don't know this guy. Right? And in case you don't know this guy and you happen to be new here, let me just read this off for you real quick. So this is Paimon, aka Piedmon, a mega level Digimon. This is literally our first mega level Digimon of this episode. And I hope the cadence and tenor and body language I'm giving you does not give away what I thought of this episode, but just hang with me for a second. Let me just read about this guy, because even in the hero's files at the end, pretty much word for word, almost the encyclopedia, is a strange looking and elusive demon man Digimon that is completely shrouded in mystery. Demon man Digimon have many mysterious qualities, and since demon and undead species are basically beings from another dimension, their true forms are not totally understood. Why it appeared and the purpose of its existence are also unclear. There are currently no means of clarifying those questions. However, its strength is without equal. And if you happen to stumble across Paimon, you probably won't be able to do anything but curse your fate. Its special move is an inescapable technique in which it teleports the four swords that, from his back that you saw. They pierce a magic box, causing them to skewer the opponent, called Trump Sordo. He also has a move called Clown Trick, which, he does so many different stuff. The Clown Trick in Adventure 0101, it turned the Digidestin and their Digimon into Keychain. He also has a move called Mass Square. Creates a field where he can just teleport himself and do Trump Sword anywhere. Toei Wildness, Endless Shape. This guy has only shown up in three Digimon series, and it's funny because Digimon is in its 25th year anniversary, and it's only been Adventure 01 and Adventure Try. Adventure Try is linked to 01. So those and Ghost Game. This is one of the OGs of OGs. This Digimon is so strong. He kicked War Greymon and Metal Garurumon's butts. Somehow I had to look up how they beat him in that series, and they beat him with Magna Angemon finally appearing and open up that gate and everybody just pushing him through, which seems very anticlimactic as I thought about it, right? So Piedmon silhouette making a kid walk a tightrope, and he's calling him across. He says, come across. The kid falls over. Before he hits the ground, he turns into a card. Turns into the 6 of clubs, I believe. And so, after all this, the next morning, the circus has disappeared just like that. And there's a bunch of people that's like, there was a circus here, and it's just gone, right? Just Ringling Brothers just up and left. Well, the next now we're at night and the crew are in the crowd watching this magic show. Obviously, the ring master's weird. The clown master's weird. The two mascots are weird. There's a freaking lion. The two lions that jump around, they're flying, butterflies in the sky, that type of stuff. They're flying. And old ring-a-ling masters just looking, and I guess the clown that's in charge, they're like, hey, we have some weird guests there. And he's like, let them stay. I can't do anything about them, right? Move my water out of the way. Nothing I can do about it, because we see Hero holding Gamamon. Well, as the carnival circus thing is going on, kids are walking. Angoramon's invisible. Angoramon was actually in the ceiling doing his invisible watching thing. It's Ruli's friends. It's Hero. They're walking. Jellymon wanted to come, but Kirishiro had a forum he had to go to, and we get the joke of her telling Hero, we can just split them apart. They leave off, and then Espimon is still stupid. You know what? For one episode, it's kind of funny. Second episode, oh, that's why he thinks it. Okay, it's kind of funny. Now this is just getting stupid. Like, you have his ID. You're supposed to be, according to the encyclopedia, this high-tech Digimon that can scan these databases, and you're a spy. You can be invisible, but you still don't know that Hero is the same hero you're looking for, because his stupid-ass father said he's the spitting image of me. Which I'm calling his father stupid, because if this show ever gets a real plot outside of his dad is in the digital world and they can't figure out how, which is not that hard to figure out, that it must not be that hard to get there if you're a human. Maybe there's various back doors a la Thor Dark World, right? Maybe there's various ways to get in without getting hurt if you're a human. Although we've seen so many Digimon series where humans don't get hurt going there. Sometimes you have to be magically chosen. Sometimes you have to have a partner. Sometimes you just make a digital gate. Whew. This episode almost made me regress back to the early episodes when I'm just getting frustrated, right? But yeah, no, Espimon being this dumb now is kind of annoying. Especially since I actually liked the Digimon's design and I thought he was cool. So now he's not coming either. So they're there. It's this mascot and cat thing that's like, oh, hey, kid, here's a special thing. You scan it at midnight. Don't tell mom and dad. That's creepy. I'm sorry. If your kids do not know that, one, you do not listen to someone saying don't tell your mom and dad. I'm letting you all know right now, if you have children, young children, and for some reason you do not have a brain cell in your head, let your kids know, hey, if someone tells you don't tell me something, you should probably tell me that thing right away, especially if it's a creepy thing, right? Keep secrets among you and your friends. No, that makes sense, but that's a stranger danger moment there. Anyway, Ruli comes up. She's like, well, this is a promotion, right? And she takes it and he tries to go, no, it's special. And it's obvious that he can see invisible and Angoramon behind him. It's very, very obvious. But he goes, okay, fine. So she scans it at midnight. And it's like, I'll come and get you. Very spooky. I enjoyed the thing on her phone where she's like, yeah, I'll do the thing. And we get the spooky screen thing on the screen. And then at her window, unlocks the door. It's Flame Wizardmon and Toby Catmon. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Toby Catmon is one of the worst drawn Digimon I've ever... one of the worst drawn Digimon I've ever seen. So bad that he made me mess up my camera. Slightly better, right? Okay, let's go back to this horribly drawn Digimon. Toby Catmon. Like I said before, I am not going to go through all of these things. It's just, apparently, this guy here deals with the X antibodies. His first appearance was in the Pendulum Digimon X, and in the X series, Digital Monster X. I actually raised one of these things. You have no choice as one of the default mons. This thing is based literally on Top Gun, actually. Top Gun, because he has a move called Cat Gun, based on the thing that Maverick did in the first movie, but this thing flies over the ocean. He has a number on come F14. Couldn't tell if he's supposed to be a racing thing. Doesn't matter. Let's go to, nope, not you, because you're spooky. Let's go to Flame Wizardmon. You guys remember Wizardmon, right? Here is a Wizardmon with a matchstick. Yes. Wizardmon with a matchstick. Now, what is that? This guy, Topocatmon's a champion level. This guy's a champion level / armor level Digimon from the Digi-Egg or Digimental of Courage. I think he comes from straight up either from Wizardmon, Wormmon, or Tentomon, or Guilmon, First time this thing's ever been seen was in Digimon Frontier movie, one of the human type Digimon, and this and the Hunters That Leapt Through Time, season 3, and this here. So he's been seen quite a bit. These things are instantly hostile because they're like, oh, you're the one that Opossumon warned us about. By the way, here's Opossumon. You probably recognize this guy. You should, because this will be the 3rd series that this Digimon is in. First showed up in, again, Hunters Who Leapt Through Time, the partner of Suzaki Iru. Turned into that little pig thing, ultimate level. That was kind of interesting. Showed up in Digimon Adventure at Mon Park, Monze Mon Park. And he showed up in this one. And again, another armor level Digimon. So, we're noticing some patterns here. Piedmon has henchmen. So, we get a card spinning by them that tells them, hey, don't worry about the girl. Don't grab ones that aren't invited. But we will take that Digimon. Cards come around him, take him, do a little magic trick. He's stuck in one of those boxes. And they leave off. They're gone. Magically, with their little magic thing, they're back there at the circus. There's a bunch of children there. Angoramon's like, oh, so that's how you got these kids here, okay? And I wrote in my notes here, there's absolutely no way you're not killing these guys. This is like the 3rd or 5th time that there's been kidnapping Digimon that have actively tried to murder people or transmogrify their bodies. Instantly, ones come to my head are Myotismon. We have Mephismon. This is either time 3. I'm going to call it time 5 because we have other Digimon that have done crazy shit. And I just cannot believe this. Well, the old man comes up, and guess who the old man reveals himself to be? Few guys are a fan of Digimon Tamers, their movie, where it was first revealed in Japan, not over here, but in Japan, that, oh yeah, Tamers is a separate universe from Digimon seasons 1 and 2, Adventure 1 and 2, but those are actually their actual real universes, where in Tamers, those are just TV shows. Mephismon crossed over from the data of Apocalypse. Mephismon is literally the freaking Bahamut, literally the devil, and I'm pretty sure I have covered this guy before because he was in the episode in Adventure 2020 where he tried to where they literally strung up Gabumon on a cross, and it was Joe and Matt, or Yamato, Joe and Yamato all the way trying to save him from, I think Salamandramon was there too. This thing is, again, this is a fallen angel, ultimate level Digimon. This is he is from the lingering thought data of Apocalypse. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it has a move called Black Sabbath. So, Ozzy Osbourne Digimon, Crazy Train, War Pigs, all that other good stuff. This is one of those Digimon that I put up there. I talked about Magnanimon, right? This is one of those ultimates that are pushing mega level, that's like pushing the power level, and he actually turns into a bigger Digimon called Golfmon that's just as strong and just as evil looking. Holy Toledo. Anyway, now one of the kids is forced up on this hype rope because there's the clown guy, and he's like, walk across, you're gonna get eaten. Of course, he snaps his finger. All the mascots and animals turned out to be Digimon. I could not identify the cat Digimon. I believe it was also an armor level Digimon that probably digivolves from the Digi-Egg or Digimental of Courage or Love. Who knows? Both of those things deal with fire. Who cares at this point? Pardon me. Let's just keep going. So, kid's trying to walk across. 1 foot, 2nd foot, falls down. Before he falls, turns into a card. Turns again into the 6 of clubs, and he goes, I already have that one. And I'm like, oh no. So these kids are just done for. Another kid goes up. They fall. Turn into a 3 of diamonds, but he has that one already. And Angoramon's go, I've heard this before. This is his deck of grief. By the way, initially, now this is one of the lines that I don't know if this is bad translation or this is just stupid. He goes, that's just a human guy up there. And he's oh yeah, to an ordinary Digimon, I would look like a human man, but snaps his finger. I do like the snapping finger thing he does. Snap his fingers, show that he's Paimon, and Angoramon instantly knows, holy crap, it's Paimon. One of the most terrifying and horrifying Digimon. I heard of his deck of grief. And Mephismon says, yeah, he usually makes out of Digimon, but since he's here, gonna make it out of people. And Angoramon's like, no, you can't do this, right? So Ruli's on Airdramon with Hero and Gamamon. They're rushing to the circus. Obviously, they know where to go, right? But Ruli's not all that smart, but we're gonna get to that in a minute. Two more kids, the cards he already has. And I'm like, this is 10 minutes in. How are you beating Piedmon? You don't have Jellymon to turn to Tetismon so that if any of you all get hurt, she can heal you. So you're 2 people down. You're down Hero and you're down Jellymon, which I will get into the whole only 3 humans and 3 partners thing later. Ruli does not have Angoramon because he is currently held captive. So we just have Gamamon. Nothing against Gamamon and his forms, but we just have him. And Airdramon doesn't stay. Airdramon leaves. So there's another girl instantly up there. She makes it all the way across and grabs and says, please let me go. And he's like, why? Snaps his fingers. She turns into the Queen of Hearts. She turns into a face card. He's like, this is one of the ones I've been looking for. And all the other ones, they're cheering because they want to play a game. This whole entire thing, they've been helping him because they want to play a game with Piedmon in all of his cards. Holy shit. I cannot believe this is the actual plot of this episode. As horrifying as this is, because we've gotten other Digimon like the Betsumon. Their whole thing is, oh, we're going to take over, the doppelganger thing. That is horrifying too. But wow. Okay. All right. I'm rolling with it. Let's roll with this premise. Let's keep it going, right? So they get there. Ruli and Hero come enough time to see a girl fall, and then she changes into a card, and he's like, dang it, another one. And they all surmise that, oh yeah, the strongest ones that reach us, cool, they're turning into better cards. So he goes to Angoramon, goes, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make you a mascot, but probably make you a silent one because you're just gonna tell people to not come. Turns him literally into a rabbit. He goes from big rabbit. He's screaming. He's in horror underneath the little tarp that he has turned people into keychains and other dimensions from. He is now a rabbit. All right. Well, Topacatmon is still an a-hole. So now the gang, they're trying to be sneaky. Nah, dude, I know you're there. Spotlight on them. Gamamon turns into Battle Gamamon because now it is time to fight. And Ruli straight up like turn Angoramon and that girl back. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what would make you think there was only one child? Why is Ruli supposed to be this super rich girl that likes to she acts like the rich girl too, because she does all this spooky shit, and this is how she gets her thrills, right? She gets her thrills by doing the spooky stuff. Doesn't necessarily believe it, but some of the stuff still scares her, but she does this to get her thrills. Typical rich girl, because it took me a while to finally narrow it down. And while she does all these extracurricular things, like she plays the piano really well, and she does these summer classes and all that, doesn't necessarily make you smart, but she does all these summer classes and whatnot. It took me just by, wow, you really think that they only took one girl? You were with a plot where my oldest mom tried to take you and has taken other girls before. You were around a place where there was a Digimon that Data got screwed up and was killing folks because he thought he was an actual monster. You think that it was just one girl? You wouldn't say, anyone that you have captured, you turn them loose. She didn't say that. Okay, whatever. And he's like, why? The weak must obey the rules of the strong. And I'm like, all right, we're doing this. And he says, is there really anyone else here stronger than me? That is actually a cool line. Piedmon is actually the best part of this episode. No lie, no cap, whatever you kids want to say. Wow. That is a very, and here's the thing. He's right. Even at the end of this episode, he is still the strongest person in that room. He is the strongest being in that room. But then Hero goes, well, you only, test your might against other Digimon. Have you ever tried it against a human? And of course, other Digimon like, what do you mean testing against it? Paimon's like, ooh, I'm intrigued. Because initially he was going to tell them, beat up this guy. But he's like, wait a minute. Okay. You're on. We're gonna do the human thing. Really. And the Digimon are so appalled. Wait a minute. We've been waiting all this time to play a game with you. And Paimon just goes, all right, fine. Whoever beats that Digimon, you guarantee get a seat at my table. Points. Battle Gamamon is now jumped by Flame Wizardmon. And when Paimon's like, all right, so which one are you gonna be my opponent? Ruli tells Hero, first smart thing she's done today, you go with Battle Gamamon. I'm like, cool, partner with partner. Gotcha. We got this. So again, with his magic, he changes the arena. They are now high above the air. Has a very elaborate looking card table. The game they're going to play, I'm just going to call it 6 card. You shuffle the deck. Each of them will randomly take 6 cards, and you take turns flipping over a card. Whoever's card is higher, they win. The person who wins gets to flip again. By the mind, first to 3, right? First to 3 wins. Whoever gets 3 wins, you win. You listen to the other person's thing. Her thing is you free the girl, you do whatever she wants, and he says, you become part of my deck. So she shuffles, and as she's going to pick the card, she can hear the screams of the people in the cards. And she's like, these are all people? I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. What would make you think he would only take one person? Regardless of this, she ups the ante and says, you're going to release everybody. He goes, cool, you're up in the wager. She's like, wager? I'm like, I got one for you. Daggers are in there. I'm like, ooh, we're getting into some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. We're getting into season 0. Ooh. So, Battle Game, I'm still flying Flare Reason. I'm very surprised this is 1-on-1. So they flip the cards and he wins. And the dagger hits Battle Gamamon in the arm. Let another guy get the hit in. He's like, yeah, whichever one of us loses, our side takes a dagger. It's like, okay. He flips again. She flips next. She wins. I don't even have to look at my notes to remember this. Hits the Wizardmon. Sword blow knocks him out instantly. Up next is it cat? Is it flame cat thingamajigger? She flips again. She wins. Daggers into him. Paimon's like, oh, you got 2 to my 1. I'm excited. I've never been this close to losing before. I'm gonna have to make another game like this and have life or death high value stakes on the line. This is fantastic. And she's just like, so selfish. I'm like, yeah, no shit. He wins next. Gamamon gets hit, and the little cat thing is winning. Cat thing's been hit twice, mind you. Gamamon's also been hit twice. It is much to Gamamon's credit that he's able to take these attacks and still just keep going. Much to his credit. So now he flips an ace. He flips a king. By the way, he said in the beginning of this, aces beat kings. So it goes in order. Aces beat kings. And he goes, the only thing you can pull to beat me is an ace. So she only has 2 cards left. And we get Squeaky Squeaky Rabbit at the end of Gamamon and Hero going, Ruli. And then they go, don't hesitate. Which, by the mind, Battle Gamamon actually spoke to her by himself earlier when he first got hit. He says, do not worry about me. Focus on playing the game. This RNG random game, which, I had to think about while I was rambling off. Yeah, if they were playing poker or Old Maid or Go Fish, it's still a random game, but there's also skill involved in these things. So maybe there's skill involved in this or not. Just seems like a total game of chance, a type of life or death, like a Russian roulette kind of thing. So she's trying to pick which card. And when they say, do not hesitate, she picks because there's an outside one, inside one. I'm like, you're going to pick the outside one, not the exact same one he picked. And it was the ace. And the moment she won, last dagger went out, snaps his fingers. Instantly, Angoramon comes back from being that regular rabbit. Everything comes down, and Paimon's clapping. And he's like, yeah, you won. Mephismon is pissed. He's like, there's no way this human beats you. So he goes to attack Ruli. And Angoramon ain't having it. Instantly turns into Simba Angoramon. And Ruli actively goes, keep going. I'm like, okay. Turns into Lemortmon. Fast enough to stop the attack. She has him do his Riku's, the move where he takes one of his blades and slashing. He is horribly slashing Mephismon, which makes you go, okay. Lemortmon is either on par with Mephismon or stronger than Mephismon. I'm willing to go on par, but he's also fast. Because once you think about the breakdown of this 3-person, 3 Digimon dynamic, we went from Tesla Jellymon being the fighter to being the healer. Gamamon being the, wild card for the situation to the actual muscle. And Simba Angoramon, speed still becomes speed, but speed with some power behind it. Some ferocity. He's the berserker. He is the barbarian, right? And as he's cutting up Mephismon, Paimon just snaps his finger, turns Mephismon into a card, brings him at his side, and he bows and says, I'm sorry about, the behavior of my servant, him being over ecstatic. You actually won very fair and very square. Throws the cards up in the air. All the kids land in their beds, turn back into children, all blinking like, what the hell just happened? I just want to point out here, over these 41 episodes, probably over a year and a half that they've had their partners, there have been several people that have died or gone missing or been body horror changed by Digimon and are now back in their bedroom, back at their homes. And are they just going to pretend like it didn't happen? Children tend to hold on to and believe things that happen to them more than adults. I can see the adults going, oh, I just imagine it because I'm a stupid ass adult. But the kids have to be going, there are weird creatures out here that will mess us up. So Paimon goes, that was so great. I cannot wait to do something like this again. And really goes, hey, my rule is you do not use humans as cards. And Hero makes a smart ass comment, goes, just buy a deck of cards next time. And he goes, well, you beat me. You are the strongest, and you make the rules. So, of course, I won't turn humans into this. Grabs the tent, pulls it down, and they're gone. The master circus gone. Gamon's like, wow. And Angoramon says games involve luck, but you cannot get the rabbit without jumping into the tent, which makes no damn sense. Now, the Japanese, from what I was hearing with the Japanese, I heard Usagi Ace. Maybe this was a bad translation, a rough translation, or trying to do their best to get us to understand what he was trying to say. But he says to Ruli, that means thank you. She goes, mm-hmm. And just her little anime smile thing. And that's the end of the episode. The study file was really good though, because Ruli, after Angoramon tells us again about who Paimon is, being one of the strongest Digimon, and it confirming that this is mega level Paimon. Ruli goes, he smiles all the time, but when I looked at his eyes were not smiling. He's terrifying. And of course, we get Kirishiro freaking out. Next episode is about Oni, Human Hunter. Know who the Digimon is, so I'm happy about that. But this episode from me, we also say he may look like a clown but has proper power. This episode from me gets a 3.5 out of 5. It is not exactly average, but it is not pushing too much over the border. It is bothering me because now we're going back to this, where Paimon is still stronger than everyone there. He had the ability to stop Lemortmon from killing his servant, who is an upper echelon demon thing, ultimate level Digimon. He could have ended them right then and there if he wanted to. But by his own rules, the strong win, and his ideas, the strong are people who beat him in a card game. This random game of luck. And it's a smart way of having them overcome an enemy that there's no way in hell they can win. But come on, man. Even in the other Digimon seasons, never saw Applemon won't pretend like I know what they went through. But in the other seasons, they didn't enjoy fighting. As a matter of fact, and one of the biggest drama things in season 1, season 2, where they were always crying, is just, I'm tired of fighting. Which, this is why I don't like the dub, because the dub makes for some reason in English they think we need to have our characters and our children characters more snarky and more a-hole-ish. I just find it funny. If people actually enjoy this episode, I'm happy for you. But I hope you're not the same people that were complaining, saying, oh man, they ruined Devimon and Digimon Adventure 2020 Remake. When it's like, the Paimon I know doesn't really... He actively lied to a child in this thing. Made it seem like, oh, I'm going to let you go if you reach across here. No, I'm still going to turn you into a card. I'm sitting there waiting for the other thing. I'm like, so he cheated, right? We're going to find out that he cheated and they're all just going to attack him. No. You don't get more terrifying and terrifyingly strong than Paimon. And Dark Master from season 1, Digimon Adventure 01. And at this point, we still don't really have a plot. We actually don't know where this is going, because we actively have a Deus Ex of sorts, an Espimon who's just being an idiot. Just like, he said spitting image, so I'm going to believe him. You're not even fully mechanical, bro. I don't want to hear that. Even Jellymon's like, that's so funny. That is such a Digimon mistake to make. How is Jellymon? You know what? Whatever. And this is another reason why I don't like that BS reason that one of the producers or showrunners or writers gave with, we only have 3 children and 3 Digimon because we want the Digimon to feel like they have agency and make them feel like they are their own people. Gamamon is acting as if a classic partner Digimon thing where he's always with Hero, and if he's not with Hero, he's out doing little fun stuff, or he's spending time with Kirishiro, or he's being watched by someone to make sure he's okay. But what was wrong with that dynamic? Okay, I actually enjoy, okay, they all do their own things. Renamon used to go out. Terriermon would just hang out with Henry's little sister Susie, and then when she got a Lopmon, they hung out with her. I get it. You want the Digimon to feel like, you know, they're not being talked down to. In none of the Digimon seasons I've ever watched were the Digimon ever talked down to, especially in Cross Wars, where you took away levels, which made it stupid. I've never felt like they were being talked down to ever, unless they were just childlike Digimon, which, funny in Japanese, their level is child. Their level is literally child, and they become adults. Fine, you're still a rookie, you're trying to learn, then you become a champ. Only one who gets babied is Gamamon, and even then, Angoramon is growing and learning. They don't treat him like a child a lot. And we've proven that Jellymon breaking off from the herd 8 times out of 10 does not help anybody. And she has caused lots of problems. And Angoramon not being smart enough to go, oh, really, I'm part of the Digimon group, but I'm not supposed to tell humans, but I'm going to tell you because we're supposed to be fostering a partnership or something like that. It just feels like lazy. It feels very lazy to go, I don't want to add in more children, when a nice little sweet spot, in my opinion, is 5 or 6. 5 or 6, get another female character in there. I was just thinking to myself how the max we've ever gotten of female chosen children protagonists is actually 3. And okay, I'm fine. 3 is your sweet spot, is your highest number. Although it would be cool one day to see 4 chosen children be female and 2 to be males, just to change the dynamic a bit. And you get that dynamic duel with them, and then we get, oh yeah, you know, the girls are going to kick your butt if you mess with their boys, right? I would enjoy that dynamic some, but I can settle for 3 and 3. At least it's even, right? I would have loved to see the young lady who sits at the front desk at the boys' dormitory. I cannot remember her name. She should be a Digidestin. Heck, even the dude that's always fawning over women, I would love for his Digimon to be a smart, straight-laced Digimon, for it to be the Krogunk to his Brock, and just be like, shut up, kid, you're coming with me. You gotta, like, they were down 2 people today. And technically, I want to count them as 1. You're down a man, because both of them had to go someplace else. And even Angoramon just said, all right, I'm gone. You have no other allies. I'm waiting for a big Digimon battle where we get Repamon and all the other Digimon that we have befriended to come together and fight a big threat. But it seems like the biggest threat might be Hero's dad. If Hero's dad is the reason why other Digimon like Paimon are coming through, he's just like, oh, these guys would be pretty. He's a clown. He'd be pretty interesting in the sense to the human world. Beep, press a button, and now all this havoc is reigned. We're 41 episodes in, guys. I need to see some kind of plot. Or if this is literally just a monster of the week thing with some threads of like, things in the past have actually happened and characters have died and characters have progressed. I was expecting to see Gulas Gamamon fight Paimon today. That would have been great to see. Like Gulas Gamamon coming out like, all right, I can't let you hurt this kid. Beats the dog crap out of his servants, including Mephismon, because we've seen him kill Arukenimon or Arachnemon easily, and then just going for Paimon. And, having a harder time, Paimon goes, oh man, you're going to make a good card. And he goes, nah, man. Super special attack, dark spirit ball that I used before. That would have been great. But I digress. 3.5 out of 5. I had to add something on there. This out of the month that we've gotten, this is easily the weakest episode that's come out. I would give it a 4 for Paimon alone because his speeches were the words he said carried weight. He was genuinely scary. So you know what? For the first time ever, I'm giving 2 scores. I'm not going to say it's between. It gets a 3.5 initially. It gets a 4 for Paimon alone. There, you got 2 scores. It doesn't get lower than that. No way in heck it gets higher. I wish I did. I wish I can go 3.999, but I won't. It's getting there though. I'm just looking forward to next week. Getting some Demon Slayer vibes from this one. Hopefully this will give us a slaying Digimon that requires them to work together and do what they gotta do. But let me know what you thought of the episode. Let me know what you think of my criticisms of the show, please. If I've gotten anything wrong or if you disagree with me, leave a comment down there below. And as always, do not forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new here. Hit the notification bell even if you aren't to be notified of more videos just like this. And as always, guys, I thank you for taking some time out to listen to me ramble about Digimon in this episode. We're harder on the things that we like, and I genuinely like Digimon. I genuinely like where they're going with, like, the premise of this show is good. I just wish this could have easily been, you could have chopped this up into 3 episodes where it's like you set the groundwork, you reveal that Paimon takes people. He took Angoramon. Next episode, you got to go get Angoramon. You got to fight through the forces. You got to do this card game. And then he cheats at the end. Then the last episode, man, we wrap it up with this crazy intense battle that lasts the entire episode. But that's how they did things in the old series. So I understand we're trying to do something new. And I will never turn my nose at doing something new. So I'm still staying on this ride. I hope you continue to join me for it. As always, be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, be safe out there, everybody. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. Remember, there's always someone out there who cares about you and who needs you. And I'm definitely going to see you guys next time.